Opening next week, Purdue Department of Theater presents Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I'm here at Powell Hall to get an inside scoop on this cultural phenomenon turned immersive theater experience. Follow me. All right, we're here with Claire Mason, the director of the show. Claire, what makes this show unique?
So one of the things that's so lovely about the show is that we are working with over 100 students.
Wow.
And it is really a ground-up process. So often when we have theater, you start with the script, and then the director and the designers come in and they figure out what they want to do, and they work together and they kind of create a world, and then you bring in the actors and you bring it to life. We're kind of going the other way, where we started with talking with designers, be like, what inspires you, what excites you, knowing that once the actors came in, everything would be built up from the ground up. So we started with the actors really coming in with what they love about the novel, what they're interested in exploring. So we actually didn't have a script until a week ago,
wow.
Which is very different. Usually we'd be memorized and blocked and doing like complete runs, and instead it's like, and now we have pages. It's very generative, which has been delightful. And then for audiences, how this makes it different as well is the sense that the ownership from the actors, the ownership from design, and the sense that the script itself was also crafted with audience participation in mind, with audience needs in mind, and knowing that like, some people do not want interactive at all, and so we've built it in so that everyone gets to opt in or out as they wish.
That's amazing.
Hi there.
Hi Noah, how are you?
Doing pretty good. How are
So
you?
this is our first stop on the tour. Tell us about what we're seeing.
So right now, currently, we're in the first stop of the Frankenstein experience. We're in the Mallet Theater, currently here at the Powell Building, where 2 of our first locations will be.
So you're a lead sound designer on the show. What does that mean?
So basically, lead sound designer kind of takes charge in developing the sound system that will be used in the space. So I was able to kind of look at drawings of the theater and also references of where the audience is going to be walking. And I was able to kind of figure out where to place speakers, where they're going to be facing, so that way the audience gets the best possible sound experience. We're not just doing one location, we're doing multiple. So it has been quite the learning curve for me to, learn a lot of new skills on such a big scale. But it's been a really great experience so far.
I bet. As audiences are walking through the multiple different spaces, is there anything in particular they should be listening out for?
Well, our composer, Tori Bloom, has done an amazing job at creating the atmospheres that you'll hear through the speakers, and she's been using a lot of layers to make it sound as realistic as possible.
All right, we're going to head into Frankenstein's lab next. We're going to meet his creature. Follow me. You're one of the creatures of the show.
Yes,
Walk us through what that looks like.
So I am the creature in the indictment scene, which is actually going to be in the Hanson stage. There are 4 of us creatures. We are all representing different eras of the creature's life. As it comes to life here in the lab is where you first see the creature.
So it's an entire progression, not just of the story of the novel itself, but also the creature.
Yes, and Victor as well. Yes.
And because this is an immersive experience, how does your preparation as an actor differ than maybe just a traditional sit-down performance?
It was quite different because we had no script when we started. We just had a plan, like some concepts of what we wanted to include, which also changed a lot over time given the space and rehearsals. So instead of a normal play where I would read the play multiple times through and start working on my lines and doing some character analysis, I didn't have any lines to memorize. I personally read the novel itself. I read the 1818 version. Some people read the 1831 version. Read it a couple times and took a lot of notes. And then we also had an idea of each creature having a personal backstory of who they were before they became Victor's creation. So I also did a lot of research on just the time era and what kind of job, occupation, social class that I would have been.
We're in our second official space of the production. What is this going to turn into?
This is Victor Frankenstein's lab. This is where you will first see the creature come to life. So we have this counter here, which will be filled with different animatronics of different human body parts to mimic a lab setting. And then here in the middle, we will have a big lab table where the first creature will be lying under a sheet, and the audience will be able to meander around and see Victor see his creature come to life. And
in real time.
Yes, in real time, and just start the story for the rest of the novel.
Amazing. I'm here now with Gabriel. Gabriel, you're one of 5 Victor Frankensteins, and this is our next set. What are we seeing here?
Yeah, so this is the descent scene. This scene is a very important part in the story where Victor starts descending into madness after he creates the creature because he doesn't really make peace with the fact that he just created a new being. And this is the representation of this.
So each group that comes in here is going to have a different experience, right?
Yes.
How do you encourage audiences to really immerse themselves in the scenes that they're seeing before them?
We have a lot of elements here that you might not necessarily notice that we put here intentionally so that the audience can really feel like they belong in this story. So definitely just being present and listening to what the actors are saying, watching what they're doing. Notice the visual, the sound elements, and feel free to interact with all of us.
All right, now I'm here with Ainsley, our stage manager. What are some of the unique challenges that you had to face? Because you're not just operating in one venue, you're operating in multiple. What does that look like?
It was really strange. It took a lot of brain power. I had to source out 2 other stage managers, which has never been done. Normally we have a team of 3 here.
What are you most looking forward to for the opening night?
So the first thing is I get a walkie-talkie and an earpiece, and I'm gonna feel like a Secret Service person. Very excited. And I'm also just excited to see everyone's reactions because it's going to be different every time someone goes through, and that is going to be so fun.
We're in the same Victor Frankenstein lab that you saw earlier, and come showtime, this entire table is going to be full of animatronics. Let's see how they came together.
Frankenstein's laboratory has nothing on this space.
We are trying to make a set of breathing lungs.
Like in the story, future engineers and artists are working here like mad scientists.
I've really enjoyed working on a lot of the tongues.
Toiling at a frenzied pace to bring creatures to life.
If I wanted to make a finger move, what would that look like? I can break that down into 3 joints that each move like this, and then also we want some kind of motion like this.
Katie Christian is part of a Purdue first. She's working in a brand new lab with a Hollywood twist. These creatures are destined for the stage.
Animatronics is the art of making a copy of a human or a copy of an animal as lifelike as possible. They are usually used in theme parks and the film and entertainment industry.
Professor Michael Meyer is leveraging a background in movie makeup and special effects to teach this one-of-a-kind class. It takes an interdisciplinary approach and is as hands-on as you can get.
We're combining everything, the art, the technology, the programming, the science behind that.
This semester, students are outfitting a scene for an adaptation of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
He's this crazy mad scientist until he has these human parts all laid out in his laboratory.
Next semester, they'll tackle Midsummer Night's Dream.
A lot of what engineers do is very functional. We want to make something to do something. And I think when you mix it with art, it's like the highest form of engineering mastery because your artwork, your product makes someone feel a certain way.
Not only does it have to look real, it needs to move and tell a story.
Being able to brainstorm something and then design it and then actually hold it in your hands is really amazing for me.
He hopes the project is equally delighting for audiences.
They'll just glance and they'll say, oh, that's really neat, that's cool. For me, it'll be like, oh, okay, that's the months of work that I've put in. There it is, and it's finally actually like working and it's come to fruition.
The curtain rises November 8th.